Good morning. This is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such. It's been a while since I have been making any soaping videos. I've been really busy, and I find that it just slows me way down when I have to stop and worry about making a video. But I decided to, I've had a lot of people asking, and I am still soaping. I've just been crazy busy, and I have been doing a lot of embroidery and trying to do videos on that as well. So I'm trying to even out my time a little bit between this and that. But so I thought I would bring you with me today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing today, and then just a couple other little things. I didn't do an essential oil for today. I have not had time, but I'm hoping that I'll get back to doing that soon. But I wanted to share with you what I've been doing. If you're following my videos, the activated charcoal soap that I made a while back, it hardened up, and I actually bagged it, taped it yesterday, and my daughter bagged it for me a couple days ago. And what I do is when it's ready to bag, I put all of them down in one of these containers. I put a bunch of my bags in here and my cards, and we take it in the car. And what my daughter does, she loves helping, so she will take the soaps, put it in a bag, put a card in it, and then put it back in here. And then she'll do all these for me, so by the time we get back from running to town, she's already got them all in the bags with the cards in it, and then all I have to do is take the tape and tape up the ends of it. And I'm not real creative on my packaging. I'm just not a really creative person. And people say, what do you mean you're not creative? You make all kinds of stuff. But I make the things that I make, but I'm just not a real creative person when it comes to artistic things or designing or matching colors or whatever. So I am kind of plain, and I just don't like to have to take all that extra time that some people put into packaging, which is great. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. Please don't send me any comments saying that I'm saying you shouldn't do creative packaging. You can, that's fine. I just don't have the time to do it. I work full-time, and then with embroidery and my soaping, shampoos, laundry detergent, I just don't have time to devote a bunch of energy into, first of all, figuring out how to package it, but then actually packaging it with ribbons and bows and all that. But I think that stuff's great. I really wish that mine were more that way, but they're not. But I just used these bags. If you're interested in these bags, well, this one I ripped, taking some soap out of it. But if you're interested in buying some of these little bags, let me know, because I buy them in bulk, so I have a bunch of them, and I would be willing to sell some of the bags. I also do sell the citric acid for bath bombs. I have several people that order that from me. I ship either the same day or the next day. Definitely the next day. I mean, unless it's a Saturday when you tell me, then it's going to be Monday. But I definitely ship the next day, but a lot of times I will ship the same day if you let me know early enough in the day to do that. Like first thing that morning. But so I do sell citric acid bags. I sell potassium hydroxide, and I sell sodium hydroxide. So if you're and I also have the baking soda, but baking soda is so cheap till by the time you pay shipping, you'd be better off to purchase that locally. But so if you're interested in these bags, they will fit one of my soaps nicely. And I see, and like I said, this one's ripped because I tried pulling the tape off and I ripped the bag. But these are my bars, and these weigh between 6 and 7 ounces. But you can see the bar fits down in there nicely and leaves a lot of space in the top. And what I do is just fold it over like this and then fold it down. And then that's the way I bag them. Now these really, if your bars are this size, you're going to have a hard time like bunching it up on the top. I guess you could, but it's not going to have a lot of room. But these work perfectly for the way I do the soaps. So if you're interested, let me know. And I cannot remember what size these bags are. Actually, they're 4x6s. So these are 4 inches 4 inches by 6 inches. If that'll work for you, let me know. And I do use a bud cutter. And I'm going to try to get a, just going to tell you how long my bars are. My bars measure almost 3 3/4, not quite. And then from the top, but of course, I have the rigid parts. I'm just going to kind of measure in the middle. They're a little over 2.5 inches. So almost 4 by 2. Not quite 4 though. So they fit down in there perfectly. But it gives me plenty of room. My thickness is 1 inch and 1.125 is what I went with on the bud cutter. So mine are 1 inch and 1/8 thick. So if you're interested in bags, just let me know. But those are how I bag it. It works fine. Now I used to put the name of the soap and my information on the front and the ingredients on the back, and I did a cigar wrap, but I got tired of that. I'll actually show you what one looked like. And like I said, plain. I'm not a design person. I just kind of do what works. But this is what I did. But then you have to cut off the ends and you have to tape them together, and then I had to tape the bags up, and my daughter can't help me with this because it's just too tedious, so I'm quitting with this. And this is just one that was left over. But and what I am doing to get rid of the rest of the cigar bars is, cigar bands, I'm cutting this part off, and that's going to be the front of my soap. And then I'm cutting this part off, and this is the back. I put this on the back of the soap. But I'm only doing that until these run out. When these run out, I've already created all the bars that have all the ingredients, the name, and my information on the front, and then nothing goes on the back so they can see the soap. So, just a little bit of tape holds it nicely. I store them in these containers because this is what I use to carry it to the stores with me to refill my containers. I have these already packaged up, boxed up, and over on the shelf, and when I'm ready to go to the store, we just grab the buckets and throw them in the car, and off we go. And I usually do it on a trip to town. I don't make a trip. Usually when I'm going to carry my daughter to school, I put them in the car that morning, and that afternoon on the way home, I stop by my places and pull up the soaps. So, but anyway, this is the activated charcoal. If you haven't seen the video, this was a rebatch soap. So, and you can tell by the little specks, because some of the soap that I've rebatched in there didn't melt completely. So, but if you want to check out that video, and I'm trying to find another one so you can see the little pieces that didn't quite melt, and that's fine. It doesn't hurt the soap at all. It's just soap. But this is the rebatched activated charcoal soap that I made a while back, and it's nice and hard, and I actually packaged it this week. So put that up. Now if you watched the other video where I rebatched the, I think this was the almond soap. Oh, and it smells so good. I love almond. It's not a really good seller. It's not because of the soap, just the fragrance. People just don't really, either you like it or you just don't care for it. But it sells, but it's not my best seller by any means. It's just one of those that gradually sells. But this was a rebatch, and the reason I rebatched it was because I was cutting them by hand. I messed up a lot of the bars. I really was not happy with how they looked, so I just rebatched them, and then I used my bud cutter, and I have all these perfect bars. And then I really like the way this kind of gave it a little rustic look. And these have been sitting for, I'm really not sure, but probably at least 4 weeks, probably even longer. Now they are hard around the edges, but if you push in the middle, I mean, I can't indent it, but, well, I probably could, but it has a little bit of a give, so I separated them out a little bit more on the rack, and it probably has to do with the weather, but I'm going to let them cure for a couple more weeks, and I just keep filling them from time to time, and when they're ready, I'll package them. Now, the other bars that I have in here are ones that, first of all, they're miscuts, way too little for what I usually do. This is a pine tar, and also these were put in a basket for selling, and sometimes when people are looking at them, they drop them on the floor, so they got some dings and things in them. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm gonna cut them up, and I'm going to use them in some pine tar soap. Same thing with these. This was just a bar of activated charcoal that got kind of messed up. I'm just going to chop it up and put it in with some other soaps. Now, another thing I wanted to kind of go over is, make sure you can see these bars here. Yeah. Is I have these bars that are here, and what this is these are soaps that I'm not happy with for one reason or another. First of all, this is just an end, and this is pine tar, the end piece, so I will cut this up and just throw it in another batch of pine tar soap. Now, these are plain lard soap, and what happened is, let me show you what they should look like. These are my bars, and these are the crinkly cut ones before I started with the bud cutter. But they should be white, pure white, hard as can be soaps, and this one's a good bar that I have packaged up and boxed up ready to go to a store. But what happened with these is I decided, and I don't know what I was thinking, and these are nice and hard. There's nothing, I mean, really, really hard. They smell the same way lard soap. But what I did is I decided that I was going to super fat the lard soap. I really don't know what I was thinking. It just really wasn't. I just did it. And I super fatted with lard. And apparently lard just doesn't have the shelf life that other oils have when it's not saponified. Now, if it's gone through the saponification process, which is the soaping process, it's fine. But when you're adding extra lard to be left over and it's not going to turn into soap, it doesn't last as good as well. And it turns the bars brown. So I cannot sell this as a lard soap, because people, the first thing they're going to say is, if they buy my lard soap all the time and they're used to getting this, they're going to say, what happened? Now, I have had fragrance oils that I've used before that I purchased a different one, and it changed the color of the soap some, because it had maybe some vanilla. We know vanilla is famous for changing soaps to a tan or a brown color. But this one, there's not any fragrance oils in or anything. It's just plain lard, and the extra lard had to be what changed this. Now, this one, I had them sitting in a container, and apparently it rubbed off on it, because this one's fine, but it rubbed off on it. And it doesn't feel greasy or anything. It feels like a regular bar soap, but just for the color. And then these started kind of turning a little too. And I've already used up a bunch of them, so that's why I only have some left. So what I decided I was going to do, I've been doing this for quite a while, is when I make a batch of soap that includes lard or whatever soap I'm trying to get rid of. This is lard. These recipes include lard. I just take and I'm going to cut them up like this, and I'm going to I put 5 bars in each one of these pots, and I'm just going to add it down in with the soap that I'm making, which is pine tar soap. So the color won't matter, because pine tar is really, really dark. Well, this color here, and darker depending on how much pine tar I put in it. And so the color's not going to make a difference. Because I did try to take all of these, some of these bars and put them in a lard soap. And I did a video on that, and it was like a lard soap turned eczema dry skin soap. So it started turning it brown, and I was like, okay, I can't have brown lard soap. So what I did is I turned it into this, because the color on this doesn't really matter. Because this is a dark, it has oatmeal in it, it doesn't matter. And now, let me say one thing. I'm not taking soap that's not any good and putting it in soap. I'm not doing that. This is fine. It's just discolored. It's just not what I want. So therefore, I'm going to, rather than throw it away or either wait for us to use it, because we have so much soap it's not even funny from using end pieces, and sometimes I make a special batch just for us. But a lot of the end pieces are the little bars that are cut and they're not big enough. I cut them in half and put them in our bathroom. So we don't need the soap, so I'm not going to try to save all this soap for us. So what you can do is I just take a cutting board and I just slice it this way about 4 times, and then I flip those over and I slice each one of the little pieces in half this way, and then I go down and chop each one of them up, and I end up with little chunks like this. And if you notice, it's white as can be on the inside, but just the outside is what did it. And I don't know if it's the air with the leftover lard or what. And like I said, it smells just like the lard soap. It doesn't smell bad or anything. I'm cutting these up. I just was kind of showing you that. So instead of like throwing soaps away, if you know you're making a batch of soap, you know, be careful what you mix. You know, you don't want to put a bunch of pine tar soap in something that's going to have that smell of pine tar, and it's not supposed to. So just be careful what you put in it. These don't have any smell at all. So they're going to work perfect in the pine tar, and the color of the pine tar, this color here is not going to affect it. So what I did is, like I said, I put 5 bars in there. I have my stearic acid already in the bottom, melting. I'll try to bring you up here so you can kind of see. I have it down there melting because that's the hardest. Now, people say, what do you use the stearic acid for? I use stearic acid for the hardness in the bar. Now, some bars I don't use stearic acid in. I don't use stearic acid in every kind of soap that I make, but the pine tar can be a little softer and can take longer to cure out. So I found that the stearic acid helps to make it a harder bar, so I don't have to worry about it being soft. So what I'll do is let the stearic acid melt. Once it's ready, I'm going to start putting in the rest of my oils, and I'm going to do a video, so I'm not going to show you that, but just know I do have this this going on, so you can look for that video soon. Pine tar soap rebatch, maybe something rebatching soap into pine tar soap maybe. So I will be doing that a little later. Now, I think that was kind of all I had for today. I'll probably remember something when I cut the video off. But so rebatching, don't throw soaps away unless they're bad. And I don't, like I said, I don't have soaps go bad normally. I mean, I sell it and people use it up quick enough, and we just don't usually have an issue. But this was something I did without thinking, and I will never do it again. So rebatch those, throw them into other soaps, or like I said, you can just rebatch. I have videos that I've done where I've rebatched a whole pot, and you can do that as well. I just don't want to rebatch a whole pot because I need some pine tar soap. I have carried the last to one of the businesses that carries my soap, and I only had like 6 bars to carry, and when I carried them, she said she already had 4 of them sold to a customer and had to call her to come get them. So I left her with 2, so she's wanting more soap, so I really need to get these going today and get them done. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the Soap Talk Tuesday. I will try to be a little better about making videos and responding. It's just been really busy. But if you have questions, leave the comments and questions. I'm enjoying reading the comments. I have started moderating the comments, so if your comment doesn't appear, you don't need to post it again. It's because I have to review it before I post it and make sure that it's an appropriate comment to put on the page. And so just leave the comment and I'll try to get to it within a couple days. But if you have questions, let me know. I don't by any means know everything. I do things my way. It works for me. Other people may do it differently. They may not agree with the way I do it, and that's perfectly fine. I don't agree with some of the ways that people do things with their soaps, but that's them. If they find that works for them, that is great. But this is just the way it works for me. So I will close for now, and I will bring you I hope you watch my next video of making the pine tar soap. But thank you for watching Soap Talk Tuesday, and I'm not sure what number this is, maybe 9 or 10, but I am going to release it on today, which is Saturday. But thanks for watching Soap Talk Tuesday. This is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such. Thanks for watching. See you next time.